Hey guys, Chris Sajnog, best-selling author of How to Shoot Like a Navy SEAL and Navy SEAL Shooting, and the founder of the New Rules of Marksmanship. Now in this video, I want to just quickly teach you how to use a front sight focus string and why it's important. So let's go ahead and get started.
Joining me now is retired Navy SEAL sniper, Chris Sajnog.
All right, so why is actually learning to focus, why is that important? Why are you watching? Why are you here? When it comes to hitting your target, it is critical to be able to focus on your front sight post when you're using open sight. So you've got a front sight post and a rear sight post, or whether you've got an aperture in a front sight post, whatever you're doing, whatever system you have, learning to focus is critical. And that's what I'm going to teach you how to do with this front sight focus tool. By being able to do that, you're going to be able to hit your targets, and you're going to be able to do it super accurately and a lot faster. Because sometimes it's just a matter of being able to quickly focus on that front sight post. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. Now the problem really comes in, and I was a big part of this problem. When I ran the SEAL Sniper training program, I didn't teach people how to focus. I taught them that they had to focus. I didn't teach that process. I didn't know how that process worked until I started working on the New Rules of Marksmanship and started learning about how the eyes work. And it was actually a episode of Brain Games where they had these kind of visual illusions that I really started getting into the eyes and how they work and how I can teach that to benefit my students in shooting. So that's what I'm going to do here, is really teach you very quickly how to focus your eyes. To start off with, I'm going to give you the scientific explanation of how this focus string and using it is actually going to help. Like, how does it work? Because some of you are like me, you're all geeked out on this science stuff. I love it. So it is going to teach you to increase awareness of the vergence, the aiming system, and how it coordinates with accommodative focusing system, to develop voluntary control of vergence skills while maintaining binocular visual eye movements and establish central peripheral flexibility. Okay, so that's the scientific explanation. I hope that made sense to you. If it didn't, go back and listen to it a couple times and you'll get it. It's just taking your eyes, you have two different pictures, and you're going to be able to teach them to converge, come together on one spot, and we want that to be the front sight post. So to get started, it's super easy. I sell these front sight focus strings on my website. You don't need to buy it, but otherwise you got to go to the store and buy like 1,000 beads, because you apparently can't buy 5 of them. Something to attach it, some string. But if you have that stuff around, by all means, you don't need to buy my thing. I hope you do. Help put my kids through college. That'd be awesome. But this is it. It's a piece of string with some beads on it. And these beads can move around, and that's going to be important. So to use this, what you're going to do is you take this end and just attach it. You want something that's just a little bit below your eye level. So you want to be looking just down just a little bit. You don't have to be looking straight down, but just a little bit below your line of sight. So you attach that to one end, and then you're going to take the other end and you stretch this out and start off with the first bead is going to be, say, like 6 inches away from your nose, and you just hold it. And I'm going to look silly here, so don't mind me. I'm already married, so I can look silly, and I got kids that I embarrass all the time. But just hold it to your nose, okay? And this is going to be tight, so you may need to back up or whatever away from your object, and put that to your nose and adjust this bead. Or, you know, if you have beads that slide around, if you make your own, the ones I do are really nice. They fit perfectly, so you can slide them and they'll stay. I've bought other ones online when I first started doing this, and they would slide all over the place. But you can glue those on. All you have to do then is just adjust this difference here, okay? So distance to your nose, adjust it that way. So just as easy. But that's where you start off, and you want to start here and stay here until you see one bead. You want to see this one bead that you're looking at. You should see 2 lines that looks like it's coming out of each eye forming a perfect crystal clear X on that bead that you're looking at, that first bead, and then you should see those lines continuing off into the distance in a straight line, okay? But that's out of focus. So you should see an X converging on the bead you're focusing on. Now, once you do that, the next thing you want to do is just practice. I start just sliding it. It's easier for me to keep this attached to something and just like move closer rather than keep moving the bead itself. But either way, what you want to do is just practice that. If you put it in a spot and you're just not getting it, move it back and forth until you find a spot where you do see that X. From there, look away, just bring your head up, and then look back and practice bringing that into focus, okay? And when you do that, when you can focus on that pretty easily, then you've got the other beads here, just kind of spread out evenly. Now, I'm going to focus on the first bead and practice shifting my focus to the second bead. And that's it. So I'm looking at one, I shift my focus to the next one, and then I shift it back to the first one. So now that's something that I can practice doing. Obviously, since we're talking about front sight post, we want to really make sure we're working at that distance, arm length distance. So figure out the distance to your front sight post and make sure that you have a bead, like my black bead here is about, that distance. So that would be the one that I want to really make sure I work my way up to. And I say work my way up, meaning don't try to start there, okay? Start here, work on shifting your focus all the way out there. And then you can go further still, okay? Because that's all gonna help. It's all gonna benefit from you. Now, a few tips. If you're having a hard time focusing on a bead and it's just not working, and sometimes your eyes are gonna be tired, think about crawling, it's gonna sound silly, think about crawling your eyes up over the top of the bead. Okay? Or maybe crawling them down. Crawl, 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 crawl. There's going to be these little shifts in your focus that are going to make huge differences. I literally have hundreds of people telling me about using this. And I remember when I first did it, I was like, my eyes don't work that way. My eyes don't focus. But they do. It's just that you need help, just like I needed help too. So pick one of these up, get it, try it out. It's a great tool and it's super important. It's really gonna help your eyes out. So make sure you're doing that. All right, so this is something that I want you to keep in mind too. If you do this, and I really hope you do, and you find it's hard, like I did in the beginning, well, that just tells you that you really need to do this work and it's going to drastically improve your shooting. So make sure you work on it. The number one thing that I see people do wrong is just not starting. I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to take action. So do something. If this sounds like good information to you and it kind of makes sense, like, hey, if I can teach my eyes to focus better and I can see my front sight better, then I'll be able to shoot better. If those things work out in your head, that's great. But take action, like right now. If you have strings and beads in your house, go make one and practice. If you don't, go to my website and order one right now. Do something, take action, because they've done thousands and thousands of studies that if you take action on a goal, the sooner you take action, the more likely you are to reach that goal. And I want you to reach the goal of being a better shooter. All right, so that's it. If you have questions, again, leave them below the video. And until next time, keep paving your path to perfection.